Hey guys, it's Jennifer. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. And I wanted to take some time to talk this week specifically about this topic because we are now in it's early June. And this is 2020, the year from hell, in case you're watching this later. And basically, when all the wheels started to come off of this year was about early to mid March. That's when COVID really started to take hold. Stay at home orders started to go in place. Businesses started closing. Everything started getting canceled. We've been in this phase now for a little over 2 months, going on 3 months here soon. And there's a reason why I wanted to talk about this now because I want to talk about habits this week. And you may have heard there's statistical data out there to prove that it takes doing something for 66 days in a row to form a habit. Well, guess what? We have now been in our COVID quarantine life for roughly 66 days, a little bit longer. And so what that means is you have probably developed some habits over this time, maybe good, maybe bad, but things that are now part of your daily routine that maybe weren't before. So it might be a bad habit. You might be sleeping later. You might think that's good or bad, depending on what time you got it before. You might be drinking more. You might be drinking less. Some people have actually had this time, people have lost weight. They're not eating out, they're at home. So now they've developed healthier habits. Some people haven't dealt with it as well. And those habits haven't been as healthy, or they're not working, as many hours as they used to, or they're watching too much Netflix. Habits can go either way. They're good and bad. And the fact is, motivation, we've done videos on this before. Motivation is awesome, but motivation doesn't last. You might have something that fires you up and makes you think, okay, I'm going to go after it this week. I want to sell so many houses this year. This is going to be my best year ever. That motivation is awesome, but it is not going to be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What is there is habits. Habits last, motivation doesn't. And you really will only become successful as the habits that you have. And so now is a great time to check yourself and see if you've developed any negative or bad habits, things that are maybe hurting your business over the last couple months. And B, think what are some habits that if you got into the routine of doing them daily, week after week, month after month, would get you the type of business, the type of life that you want. So just some ideas for things that you could start incorporating into daily habits. You could set a goal of, I want to write a thank you note every single day. You could set a goal of, I'm going to stay off social media until maybe lunchtime or something. You're going to work all morning without having that distraction there. You could set a habit of, I'm going to write my schedule out every night for the next day. Actually take some time every evening to write down everything I need to get done the next day and schedule my day out. There's a lot of good habits that you can choose to incorporate, but that's the thing. You need to choose to incorporate them. So I'm going to give you just a couple of tips on how to really brush up your habits so they're helping your business, not hurting your business. The first thing is you have to be aware of what you're doing. And this is actually almost the opposite of, I talk all the time, schedule, schedule, schedule. This is basically the opposite of schedule. You need to audit your time. I would take maybe a week or two. At the end of every day, don't write down your schedule or your plan. Write down what you actually did that day and be brutally honest. Nobody else is going to see it but you. So really write down, what? I actually meant to get up at 7, but I slept till 8:30. And, maybe I watched 2 hours of TV before I started making my phone calls. And I had this scheduled, or maybe you did awesome. Maybe, you were knocking stuff out and being super productive, but take time to audit how you spent your time at the end of the day. Do that every day for about a week, and it will start to open your eyes to things that you may not realize you're spending so much time on and things that you need to spend more time on. The second step is you need to identify what do you need to incorporate to your daily routine? What habits do you need to implement so that you can start to be successful and start to change some of these bad habits? So some of the things I just mentioned, scheduling your day out, saying, okay, I want to be really intentional about, I'm going to go to a networking meeting. I'm going to do something every week where I'm out in the community. I'm going to start volunteering more, whatever it is, that you want to start implementing. Identify that. And now you're going to take the two you've audited your time, so now you're aware of how you're spending it. You're going to take what you know that you want to do, that you want to start working towards, and you're going to use the information from both of those to really schedule out to your habits. You need to make a plan for them. I personally am a visual person, and I get very motivated by a checklist. If you're like me, when I trained for a marathon, I printed out my training schedule and literally every day X'd off what I did. And I did not miss one single day because I could see it. If you need a visual, print out a calendar for the next 66 days and mark off every day that you do the habit that you said you wanted to implement. Whatever that habit may be, getting up earlier, working out, making an hour's worth of phone calls, not looking at social media, whatever it is, you check it off every single day for 66 days. Put a big circle around the 66th day, because that's when you'll know that you have really incorporated a habit that's going to help you in your life and in your business. And once it's a habit, now it's part of your daily routine. It's not hard. It's not so much work. Now you can pick the next thing that you want to implement and start doing that for the next couple of months. And as time goes on, you layer these things on top of each other, and before you know it, you're being far more productive and far more effective, happier, accomplishing things than you were a year ago, because you've taken the time to implement all these habits and not just waited until you felt like it or you were super motivated. So I hope that helps you this week. Go take that and put it into action. I will see you next Monday, and have a great week.